Tetris 99 got me and a lot of other people on the internet wondering, what other non-shooters would make excellent Battle Royale games? But I want to do more than just suggest some off-the-wall games. I want to figure out how they'd actually work from a moment-to-moment gameplay level. And let's kick things off with the king of the arcade, Pac-Man. This is Game Design Brainstorm. Ben here, and welcome to another episode of Game Design Brainstorm, a monthly series where I pick a game and or mechanic and talk about why I like it, dislike it, and how it could be changed to be better, or at least more fun for me, and hopefully you too. This time, it's all about the Battle Royale craze that is beginning to slip into other genres. Let's see how weird this can get, shall we? Pac-Man Battle Royale, or perhaps Pac-Man vs. the Ghosts Battle Royale Championship Edition DX, sees 100 Pac people placed on an extremely large Pac-Man map. Obviously, you'd only be able to see what is in your immediate surroundings, not the full layout, similar to a fog of war effect. This map will be made up of 16 different quadrants, shuffled each match to keep things fresh. The layout of the quadrants themselves would not change, just their positions on the map. Dropping onto the map is done via random spawn into your selected quadrant. Now, each of these quadrants has a landmark or a feature from the Pac-Man universe. One would be the traditional classic maze, one will be made up of long straightaways, another is a spiraling maze, etc. And one with a cemetery that features the famous ghosts. More on them later. And yes, you can go off the edge of one side and appear on the other side of the entire play space, although that might not be recommended when the map starts shrinking. Over time, the play area will shrink towards a random location, indicated by a faded darkness. When outside the livable space, a timer starts, and if you can't make it to safety in time, you die. That about covers it for the map itself, so let's move on to the powers. All power-ups are randomly placed on the map via fruits and the pretzel, and other items that are staples of the series. If you go through an area and only see the stem of an apple or some crumbs, it means someone else has already been there and looted. And Pac Royale will be all about the power-ups. This is a one hit and you're done game, and that can only be achieved via the power pellet. But unlike traditional Pac-Man, you won't automatically become all powerful when you grab one. Instead, you can bank it and even stockpile several to use when the time is right. Two regular Pac-Men can touch each other and nothing will happen. Only when powered up will you be able to gobble another player. If both of you are powered up, a head-on collision will send both of you flying backwards and light up the arena. If you still have time left with the power, you can give it another shot though. Especially if the other player runs out of juice, as powered up Pac people move at 1.5 times the speed of regular Pac-Men. But this other player could also be waiting until the last second to activate an additional power pellet of their own. There's also another power-up, the Speed Dash. This gives players a short burst of speed 2 times that of regular movement. It can be used to run and hide, or even offensively. If you dash into a regular Pac-Man, it will become stunned and unable to move for a second or two, giving you the perfect time to activate a power pellet. If 2 standard Pac-Men dash into each other, they both get stunned, so use it wisely. As a regular Pac-Man, you can even dash at a power pellet user and knock them aside, if you think that's a better idea than outright running. This won't stun them though. And one thing to remember, when a power pellet is active, you cannot use the speed dash ability. I haven't mentioned the famous dots yet, but they are there too. Not on every square inch of the map, but enough to mark an area and make it clear if someone might have been there before. Eat enough of these dots and you'll receive an extra power pellet. Then there are the ghosts, which behave like you remember and originate from the cemetery area. Over the course of the game and from other players coming near them and drawing them away, they will begin to find themselves further and further from where they started. Each match begins with just one group of 4 ghosts, but at 50, 25, and 10 remaining players, a new set of 4 will emerge from the cemetery, each faster than the last. The only way to get rid of a ghost is to use a power pellet, as dashing into them will still kill you. Can you escape the ghosts? Do you need to use a power pellet on them instead of another player? And what if eliminated players could return as these ghosts and get their revenge? Eating a ghost does offer an advantage. For a short time, nearby players will be marked along the edges of the screen, revealing in what direction they currently are. Eat 4 ghosts and you'll receive an extra power pellet. Just like in the regular game, defeated ghosts return to their spawn point, only to break out moments later. And that's all I have for Pac Royale, but I think this would be an incredibly tense experience with matches lasting 5 to 10 minutes of quick survival Pac-Man action. What do you think? Now, let's get crazy. Animal Crossing Battle Royale. But this wouldn't be a battle, and it certainly wouldn't be the same fast-paced game type we are used to. You start in any regular Animal Crossing town, pick a house to spawn in, and we're off to the races. The goal? Make more bells than the other players. But you start with absolutely nothing. Random presents with chairs, wallpapers, and sometimes tools will be on the map. But you can also raise some quick funds by collecting fruit and seashells to sell to good old Tom Nook in exchange for a bug-catching net, shovel, fishing rod, etc. Talking to a member of the regular townsfolk before anyone else does will score you a random item. After that, they will only accept trades, for example offering up a painting for a fish, or a couch for 100 bells. It could be worth the risk or a waste of time. But that's the point, right? Joan might even stop by and sell stocks. They're guaranteed to make money when she returns later in the game. But will you be able to find her again? Will you even be in the game at that point? What if you need that money to stay alive? At the top of the screen is the number of bells you'll need to have gathered and a timer. When the timer runs out, anyone who didn't meet the goal will be eliminated. Register your gathering prowess by selling your wares at one of the kiosks at the town square. The minimum needed isn't a static number, it's an average of the entire player base. Every 10 or more minutes, the timer will go off and the total needed will increase with it. When fewer than 10 players remain, a final timer will start, and the person in the lead and their amount will be displayed. Player interaction is minimal, with the only actions being hitting them with the bug net or leaving hidden pitfalls on the map. But that could prevent them from turning something in and changing the bells needed to stay in the game. Or, people that don't think they will win can harass the top player to make an upset. More expensive items, fish, and bugs begin to appear the later the round, so players are never too far away from a comeback. This game type could actually take place over several real-world days, with players being eliminated at the stroke of midnight, but that might get a little ridiculous. Hold on, let's make things even more ridiculous. In Everybody's Golf, you could run around the courses and drive a golf cart. We can expand that further. At the beginning of the round, 50 players all start at the clubhouse in a golf cart and have 3 minutes to scout the course and gather any clubs they can find. Once you get any 3 clubs, you won't be able to gather any more, but you can try and run other players off the road with your cart. Some players might not even gather 3, but they will receive 1 at random and a hefty handicap if they don't gather any at all. That could randomly make them a force to be reckoned with. With the carts, you could also drift on the greens, fairways, and sand traps to make obstacles and holes all players will have to deal with later. After 3 minutes, or when all players have 3 clubs, the round will commence. This is golf as normal, but with the limited club selection that you gathered. Also, there will be a time limit for each hole based upon the par, and double bogey is the worst you can get on any given hole as well. Run out of time on a hole and you'll automatically receive a double bogey. Get too many of those and you'll be outright eliminated from the competition. That will continue until only 20 or so players are left in the running. After that, everyone will be safe to finish the course. Per usual, the lowest score wins, but the players with the lowest time per hole will be rewarded a bonus stroke per hole. And the player with the fastest overall course time will receive a -5 to their score. Basically, the end of the game can be a little Mario Party-esque. This sounds like a giant mess, but also a lot of fun. And to make a final choice that would never happen for many reasons, one being that it would be extremely difficult to make work from a technological level, Katamari Damacy Battle Royale Edition. 100 players, 100 balls, billions of pieces of trash to pick up. 20 cities all around the world, pick one to start with and the battle begins. If your ball of roll-upables is 10% larger than your opponent's, you can roll them up, and that's it. No power-ups, no items, no shrinking circle. Start the size of a penny and finish on the globe as the final players roll up whales and entire cities before there is only one prince left. The one ball of garbage to rule them all. If that doesn't sound exciting, then you probably aren't a fan of Katamari. That's fine. As one final tease, Breath of the Wild would make an incredible world for a Battle Royale to take place. You could even glide in, and there's random weapons and equipment and everything. But what if this was a shared world game like Destiny or The Division? No, hold on. That could be a whole video on its own, so that's enough for now. Let me know what you think of my ideas and if you have any cool ones of your own. Would you play any of these modes? I know I would, and I'd probably be just as bad at them as any other Battle Royale. Just look at me play Tetris 99. It's disgusting. If there are any questions, comments, suggestions, please let me know and I'll address them in either the next video or in a little update. Thanks for watching. Brainstorm over. I gotta finish my pitch for Pac-Man versus the Ghosts, because this is just really cool and I'm super into it. That's the sound. That's the sound Pac-Man makes.